Hey, my name's Jackson Trueluck, and I'd like to tell you about my song, Carolina. Carolina, my mother long since gone. She raised me to be who I am, and I'll always call her home. Been running these roads like an 18-wheeler, shoulder show running full head of steam. But I wish I'd spend more time where I belong. Back home in the South with a dog on the couch, humming some old Brooks and Dunn song. Mama's in the kitchen, Daddy's in the yard, and I'm singing my way back home. So I grew up in the state of South Carolina. Spent a lot of time in North Carolina as well, but whenever people ask me where I'm from and all the shows and all the places that I go to, I always just say Carolina because I've literally grown up all over the state. I was born in Florence, raised in Sardis, Timmonsville, Lynchburg area, then raised in Georgetown and had family in Hartsville, in Charleston. Then I moved to closer to the beach. Had spent time in just all over the state, and then eventually ended up now in the upstate. My dad lives in the Midlands. I've lived literally everywhere. So I don't really have one particular place in the state. The state's just always been my home. So even living all over the state, and traveling as much as I do, it's something about every single time I cross back into South Carolina, even with our questionable interstates, that I realize that South Carolina will always be home to me. And it's something I grew up a South Carolina fan. Sorry to anybody who was a fan of mine that's a Clemson fan. But I grew up in this state. I grew up in the heritage of the state, and it means something to me. We're one of the few states that has beaches and mountains, and we're unique, and we have our own identity in itself, and it's something that should be celebrated and something that should be shared. And so I hope that this song can become somewhat of an anthem for South Carolina and South Carolinians, both Tiger fans from the upstate and Gamecock fans from the rest of the state, and yes, the rest of the state, because we own the state. But yeah, I hope this song kind of becomes a bit of an anthem, and I hope we can get it played in the stadiums. I hope we can play it at tailgates, and we can share our memories and what we love about the state of South Carolina in videos on the internet and use the song. And I hope it can become a vehicle for the love of where we all call home. So yeah, that's kind of my vision for where I hope this song ends up going and what I hope it can become. Carolina.